Shane, it is really good to see you. Today, I want to ask, should you really be exchanging that annuity? Before you exchange your annuity, there are several questions that you should consider first, because there are many situations where an exchange or transfer is not a good idea. But let's start with, when should you consider exchanging or transferring your annuity?
Right, Erin, good to see it. So the biggest reason why we want to think about maybe upgrading an annuity contract to a new, more modern policy is to get better rates, better features, higher guaranteed income, higher guaranteed growth. And it really starts with looking at an other contract, the old contract, and say, okay, this policy's been on the books for maybe quite a while. It might be kind of time for an upgrade. It might be a little stuck in the past, the old contract. We've seen interest rates go up quite a bit in the past couple of years, which for most people in most situations is not necessarily a good thing. When we're talking about auto loans, mortgages, we're seeing these interest rates skyrocketing, which is scary. But when you're on the other side of the coin, you're collecting that interest as the owner of an annuity contract. Higher interest rates are not a bad thing. And a lot of these interest rates, or a lot of these annuity policies right now, are as competitive as they've almost ever been. And it's really a good time to look at possibly making an upgrade.
Okay, that's a really helpful answer. So why would you do an exchange into a new annuity or other insurance product instead of transferring to a different investment vehicle?
Well, it really just has to do with the same reason that we're using an annuity contract in the first place. We want to maintain those guaranteed features, guaranteed income account value growth, guaranteed lifetime income. Those are really the core reasons why annuities are so powerful. And we want to maintain that if we're interested in keeping those.
Okay, so now let's walk through some examples when an exchange may not make sense. And the first is that you're still within that surrender charge period. Explain that, please.
So if there's a surrender charge in place, which basically means that there's a fee to leave the contract, the reason that a surrender charge even exists in the first place is that the insurance company has to know that the money is going to be left in place for at least a little while so that they can guarantee you those returns. If they know the money is going to be gone the next day, they'll never be able to offer you those guarantees. So it's kind of a give or take, but really the surrender charge is your friend when it comes to making sure those guarantees are there. But the reason why it might not make sense is if there is a large surrender charge in place, it might not be the right time. But what we've actually seen is that rates have gone so much higher. These newer products are so much more competitive, with bonuses especially, that even if there is a small surrender charge in place, a lot of times it actually does make sense to still move on to a newer product and get that greatly increased performance, and it'll far wash out any small penalty there might be to leave the old contract. So it really just takes sitting down, analyzing the contracts, and doing some math to make sure that it's really in your best interest.
Right. Crunch those numbers. The second reason, though, would be you're not offered any added benefits or a guaranteed lifetime rider.
Right. So, if we're not advancing the position, if we're not putting you into an advantage situation, then there might not really be a big reason to change. But like I said, with all the growth and all the change we've seen in the more modern contracts, we're able to really outcompete these older contracts that have been on the books for 5, 10, 15 years. As time goes on, they just kind of wind up falling in the past. And really, it's normal to upgrade an annuity contract every 8 to 10 to 12 years to a more modern contract with current rates.
Interesting. Okay. Well, if somebody would like to walk through whether it makes sense for them, Shane, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Best way to reach us is by phone or online. Our phone number here is 602-456-1928, or visit our website, winstonandcompanies.com.
All right, Shane, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.